Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you 4 different ways to join your binding. I'm also going to explain why we always join the binding at a 45-degree angle. So let's get started and I'll show you how. Method 1, you will need a ruler with a 45-degree angle on it. Place your binding strips at right angles with right sides facing. Then line that 45-degree angle line on your ruler with the horizontal line of your bottom piece, and move your ruler around until it's in line with the top left hand corner of your bottom piece and the bottom right hand corner of your top piece, and then draw straight across, and this will be the line that you're going to sew along. Once you have drawn your line, you can then pin these 2 pieces of fabric in place. I like to put a pin each side of the line that I have just drawn, and then I can actually sew straight down the middle without removing the pins if need be, and then sew across the line that you have just drawn, backtacking at the start and finish. And another way to do this, if you don't have a ruler with a 45-degree angle on it, is to just put a mark on the top right of your bottom piece and the bottom right of your top piece, and then draw a line between the 2 marks, and this will give you exactly the same result. Then put a couple of pins in, one either side of the line that you've just drawn, and then sew across the line that you have just drawn, backtacking at the start and finish. The next method is similar to the previous one, but there's no need to cut any selvages off on this method because you overlap both ends. It just makes it easier to see where you're going to draw your line from and to. So line up on your cutting mat at right angles with just a little bit overlapping on each side, then take a ruler and line it up so you're going from the top left of your top piece down to the bottom right of your bottom piece. Only it's a lot easier to see this way because you can see where the 2 pieces of fabric join. Then put a pin in either side and then sew across the line that you have just drawn, backtacking at the start and finish. And the 4th method is to use the lines on your cutting mat. As you can see here, I've got a 45-degree angle line, so I do exactly the same as before. Place my bottom piece right side up, my top piece right side down, and place them at right angles to each other, and then I find the 45-degree angle on my cutting mat, and using a ruler I draw from one corner to the other using the 45-degree angle line on my cutting mat as a guide, and pin in place, putting a pin each side of the line as we did before, and then sew across the line that you have just drawn, backtacking at the start and finish. When all your pieces are joined, remove any pins and trim off any tail ends, and just check you've got it right before trimming off your fabric. You're sure that you've done it right. Trim your seams to 1/4 inch and then press it open, and you will also need to cut the ears off on either side because you'll have a little bit sticking out on either side, and you just need to chop these ears off to make it all nice and level. To demonstrate why we cut our binding joins at 45-degree angle, I've made a very small sample of a quilt sandwich here, and I've attached binding on this side where I've joined it at a 45-degree angle. If I turn around on this side, you can see here where I've just joined it straight across. So going back to the 45-degree angle join, which is here, you can see it's joined here, and then if we turn it over, and then it's joined here. So when we roll our seam over to this side, and we would normally stitch along here, it's nice and smooth. There's no big bulky joins, whereas if we turn it over and we look at the one on this side where I've just joined straight across, there's the seam all the way over, all in the same place, and then it will all be joined here on this seam at the same place. So when we fold it over and stitch along here, we're going to end up with a big bulky bit there. I don't know whether you can see that, but there's a big bulky join there, and that's what we want to avoid. So that's why we join our binding strips at a 45-degree angle, so we can evenly distribute the joins along the edge and we don't get them all in one solid place. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have enjoyed it, you might like to watch one of my other videos. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.